Hello and welcome back. This is my first check-in for the second paycheck of December, and we're just gonna go right into it because I had some wildness happening this week. I got paid on the 7th. That was $1,405, which of course is way more than I budget for, but I got my Christmas bonus. Heavily taxed, but I did get it. So, $1,405 in my paycheck. And then Netflix was more than I budgeted for. Netflix went up. It is so disrespectful. So now it's $14. And then I started the festivities for my engagement, and that was $140 on the 7th. And then on the 8th, the next day, I continued festivities for an additional $93. It wasn't anything crazy. It was pretty low key actually. But I did spend that money, and I decided that instead of letting it blow up my budget, which was kind of what was going to happen if I tried to cash flow this, even with the additional pay from my Christmas bonus, between this and my vacation expenses, like this basically would have blown up my budget. So I decided that I was going to take the money from my buffer instead of trying to cash flow it. So that is why this is in red. And then on the 9th, I had snacky snacks. That was $13. Didn't spend anything else until the 11th when I contributed $282 to my Roth IRA, which is 20% of my pay. Because I try to invest 20% towards retirement, at least 20%, shall I say. And then on the 12th, I had a little snafu, a little oopsie daisy with my vacation expenses. So there was an accidental charge for a different hotel than what I was supposed to get. So that was $631. Now, this is not permanently going to be the amount that I'm spending. Everything needs to get straightened out, but this is what it is in the meantime. I'm not going to fudge my numbers at all. But because that is more than was actually in my vacation fund, because I only had $528 left in my vacation fund, I did have to take some of that from my buffer as well. So you'll see here I have $336 coming in from my buffer, and that is these two things. So that's the festivities, the party, and then also part of my vacation, because I only took $528 from vacation because that's all that was left in that envelope. So $631 total was spent on vacation at this point, but some of that money came from the buffer, if that makes sense. So I am kind of glad that I started separating these transactions again, because if I had just said, oh, I spent $631 on buffer, it would have kind of seemed like that's how much money I had to spend on buffer, to spend on my vacation, but that's not the case. That is more than I had left to spend in that category. So it's gonna have to get straightened out later. Waiting on a refund, and then I'm gonna have to recharge it to the hotel that my friend had set aside for all the wedding guests. So all that being said, craziness abounds, way over budget, but I don't know, y'all. We gotta do what we gotta do. Thankfully, my buffer was able to kind of even things out so that I can kind of stay normal. But, the buffer does not last forever. What I basically do is, every payday, I pay all my credit cards, and then I see how much is left in my how much should be left for all my transactions at that point, and whatever's left after that goes to my savings account. And that is because I round up all my transactions. So this dining here, This was actually $12.11. But because I round up all my transactions, I round this up to $13. I am not keeping track of all this change, y'all. The change that I have that I put in Little Earnings Hemingway here, that change is only from my cash categories, which are my revolving funds and my variable spending, like mostly groceries. So like the rest of the change, which is on my credit cards, like the rest of the amounts that are getting rounded up, that all just kind of have whatever should be left after my transactions are done, whatever's left after that goes to my savings account. And I'm not tracking that change, y'all. It's too much work. It's too much work. I know like there are a lot of people who prefer to be like super detailed and everything, but I am very comfortable having my buffer because it means that my budget is less overwhelming and my numbers almost always number. The numbers usually balance out because I'm not trying to keep track of all those little amounts. So, all that being said, let's look at what this means for my budget. Okay. So for this paycheck, and this again is the second paycheck of December for me. So this is my last full budget for the year. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have one half budget before I switch over to my new channel. So this is my new channel being my partner's YouTube account, but we're not going to talk about that. Not gonna talk about that right now, but I'm gonna have like one more week, like one half budget left just to round out the year so that I can do like my final year end stuff and have that all in order, and then that'll put me on the schedule for his paychecks because he gets paid the week after I do. So I think I'll have just like one little half budget, one little week at the end there so that I can wrap everything up and be in line with him. I don't know how that's going to go, but we're going to give it a go. We're going to give it a try. And that one, I think it'll be like a week, but it'll go up until the day before his payday. So it'll be weird. It'll be weird, but it'll be an adventure. You know, getting ready to combine budgets, combine finances, exciting stuff. Okay. Okay. So, for the budget, I got we're in the week 1, so we're in the second little column here after budget. Full-time paycheck, I budgeted $1,003. I got $1,405, which included my Christmas bonus. I took $864 from savings. So that brings my budget to a total of $2,269. That's a lot. That's a lot, y'all. Okay. And then I sent $282 to my Roth IRA, my retirement account. And that leaves me with $1,987. And then down to monthly bills, $14 for Netflix. I budgeted $11, so that does not make me too pleased. But I mean, it's a $3 difference. I'll survive. But yeah, car wash is still a pending purchase, so I did not include that this week. But yeah, that brings my total for monthly bills to $14, leaves me with $1,973. Then down to variable expenses, $13 in dining out and snacky snacks, and then nothing spent in groceries and nothing spent in fuel and parking. I actually did kind of spend money in fuel and parking, but what had happened was my partner used Spot Hero to find me a parking spot, and he used his card, but I was supposed to pay for it, so I'm going to reimburse him this following week. I don't know yet how much it is, so I didn't put it in here, but I am going to reimburse him for that. Okay. And then I didn't go over budget in any of my revolving funds as of yet. As of yet. We'll see what happens. But for goal funds, I haven't put anything towards those. I was getting real nervous about putting anything towards my goals, which is why I didn't do a Monday fund day this week. But because I decided to dip into my buffer instead of trying to cash flow, I am going to contribute this on Monday. I'm going to contribute these budgeted amounts plus part of my Christmas bonus. So this is coming. It is coming, y'all. Which is, yeah, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. I'm not going to let this completely derail me. And then for goal funds spent, that was $233 on my festivities for celebrating my engagement, and then $631 for vacation, which I'm actually not terribly pleased with either of these numbers, but such is life. I want to have fun sometimes, and this is the price we pay. But that is a subtotal of $864 of goal money spent, which is the same amount that came from savings, which means the number's numbered. The mathed, we're good to go. That leaves me with $1,096 for the second week. So I'm pretty okay with how this week went, considering I do still have money left in my account buffer after this. Because this, I mean, it took a little bite, took a little bite out of my account buffer, but it's still not gone. And I do automatically build it up because I round up all my transactions. So I think this went well. You know, this is life. This is chaos. This is the chaos of my life. I don't know, y'all. This is what we got. I use the buffer to keep my finances relatively stable so that I don't go completely off track, and we're just gonna live with that. That is part of what I mean when I say you deserve financial stability, because having a little fun should not completely derail you, y'all. Make it work. Like, if it means having an account buffer, if it means taking a hit to some of your goals, I don't want you to take money out of your goals, which is why I highly recommend, even though not official financial advice, I do recommend people have at least a little bit of an account buffer so that you don't have to like really dig into like the things that are important to you if you decide to be a little impulsive sometimes. Yes. All that being said, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for sticking with me as long as you have. You deserve financial stability, and I hope you have a great day on purpose. Bye.